My name is Joe Farncombe and I'm a web editor for Addenbrooke's NHS Trust. Addenbrooke's website's got a lot of information for patients mainly, but also for other NHS staff, anyone who uses the hospital basically. So it's my job to update old content and also create a lot of new content on the website. I spend 50% of my time out and about around the hospital meeting staff to discuss various parts of the website. The other half I spend in my office, actually hands down, sort of hands-on role. So one of the best things about the job is actually the variety of going around to all the different departments and wards around the hospital, and get to meet all sorts of people, whether they be doctors, consultants, but also a lot of sort of staff nurses. It's generally a really good place to work. I find that there's such a variety of people from all walks of life, and I find that really it's a really nice environment to work in. I actually started working at Addenbrooke's in the staff bank, and then found that there was a job available through the staff bank in the job I'm doing now. The staff bank is for temporary workers, so it's ideal for students, young people who are not quite sure what they want to do. It's a very good way of sort of getting to know the hospital and the environment of the hospital. When I first joined the staff bank, I had no idea whether I would be staying at Addenbrooke's or not. It was just a case of I needed to get a job, so it's a good place to earn some money. But very quickly, actually, I started working in the communications team, doing some admin, and then found that there was a job open in the web team. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have had a clue that I'd be doing this, working at Addenbrooke's as a web editor. I thought I'd be a producer in Hollywood. When I first left university, the job that I did first was to work in a post-production company in Soho. Entry-level jobs in the film industry involve earning very low money, and I found that I couldn't sustain myself living in London for too long. So I decided I'd move to Cambridge. It was a bit of a gamble to leave London because I really didn't know what I was going to do in Cambridge. I basically moved up there with my degree in film and video production and very little experience. So it was a case of sort of taking the first job that I could come. Fortunately, it worked out very well. At school, I was quite academic, actually. I quite liked my humanities subjects. I was very good at geography. I tried doing a geography degree for a year, but realised very quickly that sort of the math side of things was not for me at all. I dropped out of my geography degree and I actually took a year out and went travelling. My starting point was to go to work on Camp America. I was a camp counsellor working on a camp for underprivileged kids from Philadelphia. I did that for 4 months, and then I spent a bit of time travelling up the east coast of America. After I'd finished travelling, I headed back home and decided I needed to sort of earn a bit of money before trying to go back to university again. I actually started working in an Indian restaurant. Once I saved up enough money and I felt confident enough to go back to university, I decided that film and video would be the thing I'd want to do. So I started applying for university, and unfortunately was accepted into the Surrey Institute of Art and Design. I find that a lot of the skills, especially editing skills that I picked up at university, have been directly transferable to the job I do now, especially the certain programs that I use. Like video editing software and website editing software is not miles apart, so my degree has not been lost altogether. Potentially I'd like to go back into the film industry. I tried to carry on making films as a bit of a hobby. There's a group of us who've set up a website who make short films in our spare time when we've got spare time. In the long term, I see a role working within sort of websites, maybe specifically information architecture. I think that my ultimate goal would be to become a consultant, telling people how to organise their information. So I don't think there's a right and wrong way when it comes to career choices. You know, that sometimes you start a job and you don't like it. It doesn't mean to say that you can't go and get a new job. I think you can be quite flexible about things. It doesn't always have to mean that you start one job. It doesn't mean you're stuck in that job forever.